we are joined today with a very special guest. His name is Craig Keys of REV for Men. How are you, Craig?
Very well, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being our sponsor for the
Yes.
show, too. Yes.
Yes,
It's
and
our
thanks
great
for your
pleasure.
wonderful product and concierge service. It's fabulous.
Well, thank you for the results.
Thank you for the results.
You guys are literally in a treat today because REV has been such an amazing service that you guys offer. And at the core, can you just explain, we've tried to do it here on the show, but can you just explain what REV is and REV for Men?
Sure. REV for Men is a service focused on getting men more sex, better sex, and healthier sex. It's just that simple.
I love that. I love that. And at the core of it, so it's a service-based company with you, and you're a doctor, correct?
That's right.
So your background, I know you told me before.
Medical doctor, not PhD.
Yeah, where you went to school and all. Let's just get through that.
Sure. I went to medical school at the University of Wisconsin.
Nice.
And then I moved out to New York, the center of the universe, to do my training. And I began at Columbia and finished up at Cornell at one of their teaching hospitals at Lenox Hill. So I was here the whole time.
Wonderful.
Worked in HIV for many, many years. And then started recognizing how important it was for men, particularly men who have sex with other men, to continue to have sex in our later decades.
Right. So
for you, that's like 30 plus.
yeah, right. We'll go with that. Thank you for that. Where did the inception of REV come from? Because at the core, and for those that don't understand it, Trimix is what you as a doctor administer.
Right.
And for those that say, I could just get Trimix on my own, what do you say? And how does REV differentiate?
Well, you're right. Trimix was our flagship product. And the way it all started was I was at some big gay sex event, and one of those that had a number of vendors available selling their wares, kilts and sex toys, and one of the booths had medical services of all things, and that of course piqued my interest as a doctor. And one of the services that was offered was Trimix. And I'd always been curious about it. I knew that Trimix was something that really helped guys get very hard, very
Yeah, because
fast.
how long has Trimix been around?
Trimix has been around since 1983.
Wow, okay.
And it was used, when I was trained, it was the sort of thing that we would reserve for guys who'd been treated for prostate cancer with radiation therapy or surgery and really had a hard time getting it up. And so it was almost unheard of, but it was a really important thing because we didn't have any of the oral drugs back then.
Right.
Most of us thought, oh my God, it's so scary to imagine giving an injection because it's something that you give through a pinprick like insulin.
Into your penis.
Into your penis, yeah.
And
socket.
just so for people that don't know, it is just like you said, through a pin needle injection that is much like a diabetic, a tiny little one that is much like a diabetic would use, and it goes into a part of the penis, and with the goal of making sure that you get erect, correct?
Right, that's it. It's funny, we all sort of stumble around the notion that it's an injection into your penis and we do this hubba-da because it's so scary. We're so emotionally attached to our penis.
Yeah.
But when you separate away from that and just look at just the facts, ma'am, what you find out is that the skin on the side of your penis has the same number of nerve receptors as the skin of your earlobe or the skin of your elbow.
Right.
And so when you think about that, it's like if you ever seen anybody with a pierced ear or certainly a tattoo, you think, oh please, you've done way more.
You've done
than
worse.
Yeah, exactly.
You've done worse for less.
Tattooing, I would argue.
Oh,
yeah,
God, yes.
a lot of.
You do have tattoos.
I do have tattoos, and I was one of those people that you speak of that was freaking out when I first heard.
I remember.
I was excited. You,
Right.
of course, Carpenter, had some experience with this, and you had
Not on myself.
not on yourself, but injecting. Didn't you have some?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, when I was a kid, I had an allergist who had me doing daily allergy shots, so I had to give them myself in my leg.
Right.
So, but that's a little different than giving yourself an injection in the penis.
Right, but I remember you saying you were comfortable with that. I, on the other hand, was not and was freaking out, although I was excited about this new concept. And certainly when I met with you, Craig, was one of the reasons that I got over that hump. And the reason was just meeting with you and you explaining how the penis works and how most of it is like a sponge, is what I think you said to me.
Right.
And as long as you avoid that, 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, or excuse me, 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock area, and focus on the, like, say the 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock area, it's really just like a sponge. And it is a prick. You're pricking your prick, which is what I like to say. And it's easy. And the benefits are what I really appreciated and liked.
It is not painful.
No,
it is not
it really
painful
isn't.
at all.